Hi and welcome to National 5 English. Today we're going to look at sentence structure. Your learning intentions are to develop your close reading strategies and understand how to analyse sentence structure effectively. You'll be successful if you are able to confidently recognise sentence types and patterns, and if you're able to follow the sentence structure formula to gain 2 marks. So first of all, what is a sentence structure question? Well, it's an analysis question that's testing your ability to identify and discuss the different sentences writers use. You need to be observant in this question and know what to look out for. So here's your sentence structure checklist. Notice the blue pencil icon at the top of the slide, meaning that you should note this into your jotter now. When answering on sentence structure, we are looking out for different patterns used by writers, such as repetition, using lists, including extra information via parentheses, creating contrasts, having unusual word orders, so inverted sentences, and creating climaxes or anticlimaxes. We're also focused on the writer's use of punctuation and looking out for anything unusual, such as colons, or semicolons, dashes and brackets, ellipses, inverted commas, or exclamation and question marks. We'll also be asking ourselves about the types of sentences the writers are using. So are they using statements, commands, questions, exclamations, or sentences with no verbs, minor sentences? Finally, we are focused on the length of these sentences. So are they short and abrupt for impact, or long, detailed and
Here's the
complex?
strategy that I would like you to use whenever you're answering an in your own words question. Please notice
This is
the
the strategy
blue
that we'll
pencil
use
icon
when answering
is at the top
a
of this
sentence
slide,
structure
which
question.
means you do
Again,
have to copy
you'll notice
this
the blue pencil
into your
icon at the
close
top
reading
of the
jotter.
slide, meaning that
So
you
the
should now
first
copy
step
this into your
in
jotter.
in your own words question is
The first thing that we do
locating
when
the
we're
paragraph
answering
or
this
the
question is we
sentence that the
identify the
question is
technique
asking you
used
to
by the
look at.
writer and we
Now,
quote it
in
if we
today's
can.
lesson, in the video,
We're then going to
the
move on
worked
to the
example
analysis.
and the example
So
for
we're
you
going
to
to
try,
explain
that
how that
step
technique is
is
used and what
removed,
effect
okay,
it
because
has.
I'm only asking us to look at a
Finally,
small
we're
paragraph.
going to link back to our question and
After
evaluate.
you've located where
And
the
here's
answer
where
is,
we're going to
I now
state
need you to
what this
isolate the
technique helps us to understand about the writer's point. Let's do one together. Our question is to show how the writer's sentence structure emphasises the change of the concerns regarding right-thinking people, and it's worth 2 marks. The passage says, "When the world was a simpler place, the rich were fat, the poor were thin, and right-thinking people worried about how to feed the hungry. Now, in much of the world, the rich are thin, the poor are fat, and right-thinking people are worrying about obesity." So straight away, using my sentence structure checklist, I have identified that the writer's using repetition of the rich, the poor, and right-thinking people, as well as creating a contrast between what the world was like and what it is like now. If I think about my question, emphasises the change of concerns, I think I'm going to comment on the contrast because that really allows me to comment on this change of what right-thinking people used to worry about and what they're worrying about now. Here's my answer then. Step 1, I've identified the writer has used a contrast of then and now to show the change, and I've quoted, "The rich were fat, ... the rich are thin." Now I'm going to analyse. So the contrast shows that previously wealthy people were fat as they had no shortage of food, but now they are the complete opposite and are thin as they are healthier. It helps us understand that right-thinking people are now concerned with getting the poor to eat better. I get 1 mark for identifying the type of sentence structure used, and I get my 2nd mark for being able to analyse and evaluate how it is used. Let's try another example. This one says, "What impression of the setting is created through the writer's use of sentence structure?" And again, it's worth 2 marks. It says here, "There was shouting through the loudspeaker, increased roaring of the engines, throbbing of planes, a movement of the crowd to get the best place on the rails, people running in their fashionable clothes. So straight away I'm noticing that this sentence is one big list. Lists can be used to emphasise variety or emphasise the number of things going on, and I think that's what's being used here. The writers created a list of all the different things that are happening to create what impression of the setting? Well, maybe to help us understand that the setting is really busy and chaotic. So that's what I'm going to put in my answer. Firstly then, I identified the writers used a list. I'm being specific and telling what the list is. So it's a list of different sounds and sights. And here's my analysis to create a sense of activity and emphasise how busy and chaotic the setting is. I'm going to link back into the question now and just evaluate that it helps us understand that there was a lot going on in the setting. So I've got my 1 mark for identifying the technique used by the writer and another mark for being able to explain how it is used and the effect it has on the reader. Now it's your turn. Okay, so we've got the blue pencil icon at the top of the slide, meaning that you have to copy this into your jotter. Your question is to show how the writer's use of sentence structure helps us understand the dangers of horse racing. It's worth 2 marks. You have to identify the technique used and be able to analyse and evaluate it. Here is your passage. Horses aren't machines. They're smart, sensitive, often skittish animals. When 40 horses are forced to run side by side at breakneck speed on a nearly 4.5 mile obstacle course, it's a disaster waiting to happen. So go through your sentence structure checklist now. Identify the technique that's used by the writer that helps us understand that horse racing is dangerous. Explain how that technique is used here, and then evaluate what it helps us to understand. Now would be a good time to pause the video before we finish. Okay, so now that you've had a look at 2 examples, you have answered one on your own, it's now time to debrief the lesson. Again, you'll notice the blue pencil icon, meaning you have to take notes here. So, do you have any questions about answering a sentence structure question in a close reading passage? If you do, write these down now. And finally, rate how confident you feel answering these questions. 1 being not very confident, and 5 you feel very confident. Excellent, that is you. You have completed the flipped lesson on sentence structure.